recursive function. What is mean by recursive function? Recursive function is nothing but if any function calls itself is called recursion. Okay. So if any function calling itself is called as a recursion. So I will tell you one simple example. Therefore, I am going to write one function name as fun a I have written. Next, I am going to put the colon. Next, followed by I will give the indentation. Next, I will write some set of statements at this place. And in this same function itself, I am going to call the same function. Again, function A I am going to call. Then let us observe what happens. So here, within the same function, I am calling its own function. This is called recursive function. I am going to write one simple program with recursive and let us know how it is executing. So here, just simply I am writing one function def and function name as display. Least bother whether it is the argument function or no argument function. Next is simply what I am doing, just I am printing one hi message. Next, within the same function itself, I am going to call this function. Yes. Next, simply I am printing task has completed. Now I am going to run. Can you expect what is the output we get? So here, this function never invoke. Directly I can see a message as task has completed. Yes, it is working fine. Next one, I am going to call this function to print anything or to execute the statement related to this function. Definitely I need to call this function. So display I am calling. So let us observe what happens. When I call display function, what happened? This hi is continuously executing. How many times it will execute? It will execute infinite number of times. But you can see one message less recursive error, maximum recursion depth exits while calling a Python object. So here, this Python program is going to execute for certain number of times. Okay. Still, it unable to come out from this iteration, then immediately, automatically, it will be terminate and you can see the message like this. But generally, this program is going to execute infinite number of times. Why infinite? I will tell you. So here, just I am going to invoke this function fun a I have called. When I call like this one, what happens initially? This control will go to this place. Next, it will execute, will go to this place. Next, this statement will execute, this will call. Again, it will go back to this function. Next, this statement will execute, again call. Like that, how many times it will execute? Infinite number of times it will execute. Okay. So what is the major problem we are facing when I use a recursive function? This function is to execute infinite number of times. Is it problem or not? Yes. As a good programmer, we need to write a program that must be completed in certain number of statements, number of times. Then what can I do? So I have to put some conditions to my recursive function to stop infinite number of calls. So that we have to convey this one as a limitations of recursion. Okay. So every recursive function contain limits. Okay. What is that limit? Every recursive function contain at least one condition to terminate infinite recursive call. Okay, so we have to include one condition. This condition is to stop the infinite calls. So now we understand this one with one simple example. So here I want to write the factorial of a number. So how can I find factorial? For example, I have to find 5 factorial. So 5 factorial is nothing but like that I need to write. So how can I evaluate this one? So to know the 5 factorial, what I need? I need to know 5 into factorial of 4. If I know factorial of 4, I can find 5 factorial. Just simply I am going to multiply this value with this 5. I can get 5 factorial. But can I know 4 factorial directly? I don't know. Then what can I do? To find the 4 factorial, I need to do 4 into factorial of 3. Factorial of 3. Yes, may I know factorial of 3 directly? I don't know. Then what can I do? Next, I am going to multiply 3 value with the factorial of 2. Yes. May I know factorial of 2 directly? I do. I don't know means my program does not know. Then what can I do? Again, I am going to find 2 factorial, 2 into factorial of 1. Yes, like this I need to write. Yes, when you find factorial of 1, then you can stop this process. Do I need to go for? You can do like this also. 1 into factorial of 0. Yes. So to find factorial of 0, will you go for 0 into -1? No. Actually, we will complete this task at 1 only. But in general mathematics, we will take factorial of 0 as a 1. Okay. So what is the value of factorial of 0? 1. Do we know this value or not? Yes, we know this value. So its value is 1. Once you find this value, you need to return this value to this position. Then what happened? This is 1. This 1 is going to be multiplied with this 1. Then what happened? It will generate 1 into 1. Its value as 1. This value you are returning to this function. Next, what is the value you will get at this place? 1. This 1 is going to be multiplied with 2. What do you get? You will get 2. This 2 value again you are returning to this factorial function. So what is the value you will get it here? 2. This 2 is multiplying with 3. You will get value as 6. This 6 is going to be returned to this position. Next, 6 4 job. 24, you will get 24 at this place. Again, you are returning this one. Next to 24, 24 5 job, 120. You will get this value. Okay, so this is the way you are you are going to the next one. And when did you stop? When this iterative value becomes 0, you have stopped this process and you are returning the value. Okay, so here, this is the condition. What is the condition? When you reach 0, I am going to stop my calling. Okay, so here, how I am going to write this program? So initially, first I will start it from this place. Get one factorial function. So factorial function. Next, what does this factorial function expecting? One value it is expecting. Always it is not 4. It may be 4 or it may be 3 or it may be 2. This value is continuously changes. So here, this one I am going to take it as a m. I'm going to take it as a n. Next, when it is function, definitely you should write the def keyword prefix of this one. Next, I will give the indentation at this place. How many statements you need to include in this function? That many statements you need to write with this indentation. What is the thing you are doing? When you are finding the factorial of 5, you are multiplying 5 with the factorial of 4. Similarly, if you want to find the factorial of n, which one you need to do? N into factorial of, but simply I am going to write n into factorial of n minus 1 I am writing. Yes. So here also, if it is 4, 4 into factorial of 3. If it is 3, 3 into factorial of 2. So if it is n, n into factorial of n minus 1. Yes, this expression, this equation given me how to write the expression in the function. Yes, this is completed. Once you evaluate this one, what are you doing? Are you returning this value to the previous function or here also return? Here also return, here also returning, here also return. So after completion of this evaluation, definitely I need to return this value. Yes, this is going to be convey me that how to write this recursive call. So while calling like this, at what place you have stopped? Once it n value, what is the value you are supplying to this function? If it is become 0, are you stopping or still continuing? I am stopping immediately. Which value I am returning? One value I am returning. So within this function evaluation, if in case the value which it has received, if it is equals to 0, which value I am returning? I am returning direct one value. So just I am going to return 1. Are you clear? So this is the simple recursive function to find the factorial of a given number. Okay. So here, are you calling this factorial function from the same function itself or not? So least bother which value I am giving to this function. Am I calling same function or not? Yes, calling same function. So in the same function, I am calling its own function is called recursive function. Now I will execute this program and we will check whether it is giving the factorial value or not. So here, def factorial, and what is the thing I am giving? One n value I am giving. Next, what I am returning? N into factorial of n minus 1 I am returning. Okay, what does this n minus 1 do? N minus 1 will be copy set here. Again, it's n value into n minus 1. Like this is going to be continuously called. What is the last point to call this one? If in case the value which you are supplying to this n, if it is equals to 0, or you can stop it up to 1 also. If it is 0, what I am doing? Simply I am returning one value again. Okay. So this is the recursive function, and which is going to stop the evaluation, infinite evaluation. So here I am going to call factorial with the 5 value. Yes, you are calling. At last, is it returning one value or how many values it is returning? One value it is returning. So when it return one value, I am going to store that return value into this x variable. Next, simply I am printing what is the x value. Next, simply I am conveying my task has complete. Right, now I am going to run. When I run, so can I see 120 or not? Yes, it has printed 5 factorial value. Here you have to write question. Sir, I don't want to give this 5 value directly. I want to take it from end user. Yes, you can write like that also. So here, which value you need to be supplied, that value you need to take it from dynamically. And you can find the factorial values only for the integer number. So integer conversion, definitely I need to perform. To accept anything from the end user, I should write the input function. And which number you are expecting, that you need to ask. Enter any integer to find its factorial. Like that, I am asking what is the end value given by the end user that I am going to supply to this function using n variable. Now I am going to run this program. So is it asking me which factorial number you need to find or not? Yes, I am giving 7. So can I see 7's factorial value? Yes. So here I am going to run this one for another number. 7. Just now we have checked. I am giving known variable 6. So 120, 720. So this is the way you need to write the recursive function.